Welcome back to Monza and the warm-up lap for the CIV Italian Superstock 1000cc category. Here we are in what is normally the beautiful sunshine just northeast of Milan, about 10 k's northeast of Milan at the magnificent Monza and the beautiful Autodromo di Monza. Well, we're looking to see what's going to happen with the 1000cc Superstock. And I tell you what, it's probably going to be a little bit... it's probably going to be rather easy to call this, I can't help but think, because the man on pole position is dominating the European Superstock 1000 series. He's had victories in Imola and Assen, and that is Sylvain Barrier, the French guest, riding number 201. He's normally number 20 in European competition for BMW Motorrad Italia Gold Bet. Behind him, Simone Saltarelli, Ivan Goy, then on the second row, there is the Gold Bet BMW on pole position. And of course this is good practice. Does he need special dispensation for this? Because he's racing here next weekend in the European Superstock 1000 series, and yet Sylvain Barrier is allowed out to enjoy himself at the head of the Italian Superstock series. Here we go. And a sound start for the Frenchman. Wow, just a minute, was that a Kawasaki that came through from the second row of the grid? I think that might have been Christopher Bergman. The Swede got a flying start, but Barrier, oh dear me, the boy's just about clinging on. I know, I was going to say there's a sound of a scraping machine at the back there. Someone went down on the entrance to the Prima Variante.
He's up on his feet and all right. It's so difficult going through there on the first lap. You know, how many times do we see it?
The hunched shoulders of a beaten man. Meanwhile, straight away, Barrier has moved to the front. There was one bike that got away just ahead of him then, and but he seems to have beaten his way through almost straight away. And a storming start by number 71, Christopher Bergman, the Swede on his Kawasaki. But behind, we're looking at the bikes just behind the current leader, Sylvain Barrier. We would really expect that after his clean-cut victories. There he is, number 201 on the familiar, well, yellow, blue and white colours of the successful Gold Bet BMW Italia team, as they go cleaving their way now around the Ascari chicane.
Yeah, and that was Ivan Goy, number 12 on the Team Barney Ducati behind him. You can see him there in second spot, just all tucked in. Ivan Goy been around a long while now. One of the old hands, got to be said, isn't it? But
there's quite a few of them in this class.
There is, but looking comfortable. It's Barrier who's definitely got in the groove there on his BMW.
So Ivan Goy, the 32-year-old, is up there in the mix. He currently leads the championship after finishing third in the opening round. There he is, number 12, right alongside the Swede Christopher Bergman, as then out breaks the Swede as they drop down into and snatches second place. A lot of snaking going on. Conditions a lot better for this race. The drying out has continued, James, and these guys look a lot more confident out on track. No,
that's right. There's still obviously a little bit of damp stuff off the line, but it's much better. There's a nice dry line, and you can see the guys are a lot more confident.
The 3.6 mile Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. The leader, Sylvain Barrier. Second, the championship leader, Ivan Goy. Third place for the guest rider, Christopher Bergman, on his private Kawasaki ZX-10R. But he's coming under an increasing threat here as they dip through the Lesmo curves and then out on the return leg. Now they go through Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2. Ivan Goy, the probably a bit, you know, feeling a bit scalded by the fact that Barrier is taking off with the race. He leads the championship, for goodness sake. He wants to stand up for the Italian CIV series.
Yeah, and there's Corradi's up there as well, Fellini. They're all sort of grouped up together here. Just look at that, 3 abreast, and that was number 3, wasn't it? Corradi, just making a move there.
Alessio Corradi now riding there he is, former European Super Sport champion. I used to sport one of the most immaculately clipped little kind of goatee beards and moustaches this side of Max Biaggi once upon a time. Oh. And this is 3 and 4 abreast now. Oh, and a wild slide on the entrance there by number 3 Corradi. I thought Alessio was old enough to get over that stuff now. He lies second in the championship, of course, only 3 points behind Ivan Goy, so he's going to be desperate to get on terms with Goy here.
Oh, look at this as well. I mean, he's got 9 guys in a row here. This is what Monza is all about, slipstream. Look at it, all tucked in. We've got Ducati, we've got Kawasaki, we've got Aprilia.
Simone Saltarella's tried to make a move as well on bike number 73, and Christopher Bergman obviously enjoyed. Oh wow, where did that move come from?
that was Baroni, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Lorenzo Baroni, the teammate of Sylvain Barrier. He really did slap it through on the Prima Variante there. There's the leader, 201, Sylvain Barrier from Oyonnax in the Rhone Alps down in the southwest corner of France. Second place Ivan Goy, third Corradi, fourth Bergman, fifth that man Baroni.
And I just see one wrong move here and you go from second to ninth. Unbelievable stuff.
Baroni, who lies 7th at the moment in the European 1000 Stock Championship Series after a 5th place finish at Assen last weekend. There's Christopher Bergman. He's impressing on the ZX-10R, the Swede.
Here's nose 3 now, just starting to edge away. Goy, Bergman, Corradi.
Michele Magnoni, it's good to see him back in the pack as well, riding bike number 119, the High Roll Racing Suzuki. That's a real change of mount for a man who's been a spectacular member of the European Superstock cast for the last few years. Barrier, though, leads the way, the most experienced man in the European Superstock field. And he's certainly, this would be one heck of a race for the win if Sylvain Barrier hadn't guessed it.
Yeah, it would have. Exactly that.
Because at the moment, that's Corradi leading it in second place. Oh, wow! What a great darky laid there by the Swede, Christopher Bergman, right round the outside on the Parabolica. That's the sort of move I love, but he's going to suffer for it. He comes out onto the straight. Surely the Ducatis are going to slip streaming down here. Will he have the anchors to hold them back? Nope. Ivan Goy's back.
Whoa, Ivan Goy, mega late on the brakes there.
Isn't he?
Look, I mean, I just can't believe the room he took out of him. Unbelievable.
James Totten once told me, Mr. Hayden, that the 200-metre boards are absolutely vital to you around here. At the end of these long straights, they tend to be your crucial moments that you hit at or just after onto the brakes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just when it is a real fast track. I mean, I never used sort of braking markers, but the only time I would use something like...
excuse me, were you a Kevin Schwantz then? Was it when I see God, I slam the brakes on?
Something like that.
Really?
Yeah, I just sort of always stop, just, I don't know, instinctively.
Yeah.
Which I always thought, yeah, I mean, it worked for me, but... somewhere really fast, like Monza, like Hockenheim, you do have to put some gauges in.
Yes.
You still, but just know, okay, like a 200-yard board or 150, just something to sort of just allow you, because sometimes with the slipstream and stuff, it is hard to do it. Whereas normally on a track, you just know. But yeah, I mean, it's different. Some people use markers, some people don't.
Number 73, look, is really beginning to slap his way through now. Simone Saltarelli, qualified second behind Barrier, and he's beginning to build up ahead of steam. He's moved through now to 5th place ahead of his teammate Alessio Corradi, but still there. Look at this, Ivan Goy, championship leader, ahead of Swedish guest rider. I like the Swedish flag on the tail there of his Kawasaki, and he's really good. Watch this exit, watch him coming around. That's proper Gregorio Lavia stuff coming out of that final Parabolica. Gets alongside the Ducati. Surely he's got the legs on the Ducati, but we know how hard Goy is. Look how late Goy is on the brakes, and then he hangs out a left leg and brings it back in. Whoa, and here's Baroni. Ooh, he was nearly caught out. You don't want to get too deep in there, mate, and it made him slow on the exit, James. It's going to cost him a place.
Yeah, it wasn't the right place, and that looked like Saltarelli on the Ducati just... I got around the outside of him there. I mean, it was all because he just was a little bit too aggressive, and it actually cost him. Guys are coming under that pressure again. And look,
Baroni tries to tip under again, going into Della Roggia. He was certainly having a look, but he didn't quite get it. So Saltarelli is still in there. There is Corradi, number 3. Right behind him is the number 5 machine.
Yeah, and Goy
Alessio Vellini.
Goy is really breaking this all up now. He's just sort of pushing that pace, and it's just fragmenting this pack. It was 9 riders, and it's just starting to split up. Saltarelli, well, we'll see. Here's the leader, Barrier.
5 seconds clear now. He's looking pretty masterful. Eventually got his first European race win at Brno last year. There is number 71, Bergman. He's really showing up strongly on the Kawasaki, and obviously he loves fast. Some guys come here and they just really love the buzz of the outright speed, don't they, James? They just love coming and racing around this place.
That's right, and it's we've always found fast track. Saltarelli having a look up the inside there of Bergman, couldn't quite do it on this lap, but he's going to be all about here. This is the crux, isn't it? It's getting out the Parabolica well and just getting a good run down this straight. So Saltarelli will be trying hard to get out there.
Oh, again, the Kawasaki steps out of line, that back wheel, as he accelerates hard out of Parabolica, still holding on behind. There's number 141, Baroni. He's now trying to get round Saltarelli once again. We know that Goy's going to be later than anybody on the brakes at that point, but Saltarelli's also pretty impressive on the second of the Barney Racing Team Ducatis.
I mean, you have to have your bike set, you've got to have it good on the brakes here, because there are some critical sections, and Goy's obviously worked hard at that, because he can absolutely murder Bergman on the brakes into there, and it takes Bergman the rest of the lap
to get back,
get back on board to do anything.
Oh, dear me, and Baroni this time does check underneath Saltarelli going into Della Roggia. He's a bit of a mean man on those kind of moves, but he instantly loses out. You've got to get the speed out of the turn as well.
Serafino 40.